Hi, my name is Sabrina Sadakian. Several months ago, I started a GoFundMe for my mom to help her raise money for her new service dog after her last service dog passed away. She has something called brittle diabetes, which means her blood sugar go from too low to too high or too high to too low in just a few minutes. It was supposed to be a surprise, but by now she knows about it, so I'll let her tell you more about it.
Hi, my name is Susan Sadakian. I'm Sabrina Sadakian's mom. It was really nice of her to start the GoFundMe for me, and like she said, I do have brittle diabetes, and she explained what that is. Let me give you an example. My normal blood sugar is supposed to be between 90 and 120. There was one time when I was in a DKA coma, which is diabetic related, for really super high blood sugar. My blood sugar was 700 at the time, which is way too high. But they got it down and released me from the hospital. Once I got back from the hospital, they did tell me that I didn't have to worry about low blood sugar because my problem is highs, not lows, even though I do have brittle diabetes, but that's not going to show up for a while. Well, there was one time I checked my blood sugar and it was 300, which was too high and still enough for insulin. But I got distracted for about 5 minutes and I was about to give myself insulin, and my diabetic alert dog alerted me to a low and would not let me give myself a shot. I Diabetic alert dogs can be wrong. They're not robots. They can make mistakes occasionally. I thought for sure that was one of those times because I had a lot of medical doctors at the time. They all said that I don't have to worry about lows. But my diabetic alert dog absolutely insisted. So I had no choice but to check my blood sugar again, and it was 52. If it's 50 or below, I'm supposed to go to the ER if I can't get it up. I tried getting it up, I didn't get it up by much, so I called my on-call doctor because it was nighttime at the time. And when she called me back, she said, had my dog not stopped me from giving myself insulin for a low, I could have killed myself. She also said that had I been in the hospital without my dog, they would not have checked my blood sugar 5 minutes after they already checked it. They would have just gone ahead and gave me the insulin, so that's kind of dangerous. So I'm really grateful for my diabetic alert dog, and after that I believed everything she said. Like Sabrina said, sadly she passed away, and I really love her, but because I have brittle diabetes, I didn't really have much time to mourn. So we did look for another diabetic alert dog, and unfortunately my mobility also got worse. So I also had to look for a mobility dog, and instead of looking for two separate dogs, I kind of wanted one dog that can perform both. And I live in North Carolina, so of course I looked in North Carolina first, and unfortunately I didn't find one that could do both. I looked in neighboring cities, also couldn't find one that was able to do both for me, at least not for me, because there's rules. They have to be like half my size, half my weight. So I could, and they have to have the right temperament and things like that. So unfortunately, there's a lot of great dogs in North Carolina, and I do encourage people to adopt from shelters and rescues and also neighboring places. But for me, there wasn't one that could do that. Closest one I found is in Florida, and his name is Buster. When we looked at all the characteristics I needed, he had all the characteristics I needed, and he was big enough already, which was awesome because they do have to be big, and sometimes puppies don't grow up to be big enough. I also want to tell you a little bit about the name Buster. When I saw the name Buster, I had memories of my other dog, Bella Luna. When she was younger, my daughter volunteered at a shelter, and one of the ways she volunteered is to help them with their documentaries. And of course, you watch your daughter. My dog and I both watch my daughter on TV. So whenever a cat, dog, or rabbit, whose name was Buster, came on, my dog Bella Luna went kind of crazy and went to TV and licked the TV. She ignored all other pets, just not the ones named Buster. So I'm assuming that she may want her successor's name to be Buster. So then when I saw the name Buster, I'm like, oh my gosh, that must be a sign, because what better dog than one that's already named Buster? That is just a bonus. It's not the reason I chose him. And diabetic, let me tell you a little bit about him. He is potty trained, socialized, leash trained, obedience trained, and he is starting public access and pet friendly places. He does go to pet friendly places, and basically he's being taught manners there, those things are basically the first year of a service dog's training. When he comes to me, because he's in Florida and I'm in North Carolina, he may regress a little bit, so he will have to have some refresher trainings. I found an obedience trainer and I found a service dog trainer here. They're both local, but the service dog trainer does charge a lot, which is totally normal. Buster will have to have lifetime training, and also he's a rescue, but he's a rescue that pulls dogs usually pulls dogs from a high kill shelter the day they're supposed to be euthanized, not because they're mean or anything or because they're sick, but because the shelter is overcrowded. And they did that with him 2 years ago. He's been overlooked by potential adopters for 2 years because they say he's too big and too scary looking. Look at this handsome face. He's not too scary looking for me. They usually don't work with people outside of Florida, but they will work with me because, well, I'm the only one who wants them. Don't know why I'm the only one who wants them, but they're making an exception. However, they do want me to, they want me and whoever lives with me, which is my daughter, to come to Florida to meet them and watch us interact with them before they release them to me. So that's kind of one of the reasons I did the GoFundMe. Dad and, like Sabrina said, it could be very dangerous for me because if it wasn't for my diabetic alert dog last time, I would have had to prick my fingers every 5 minutes, and that's just not gonna work. She even woke me, or she couldn't wake me, she woke my daughter, and that's until I get the diabetic alert dog. I have to be like super careful, and that's why I have these necklaces with all my medical conditions. The charms have all my medical conditions on it. And they have Sabrina's phone number, so EMT or whoever can call her in case they find me somewhere to tell her where I'm at. I take a lot of medication. This suitcase is my backup medicine in case we ever have to evacuate for any reason. We're in a really great place right now, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm prepared just in case. And like I said, Buster will have to have lifetime training. In addition to lifetime training, he will, because we live in public housing, he does need a kennel, and because we're in North Carolina and he's going to be a service dog in training first, North Carolina requires service dogs in training to have certain gear that identifies them as service dogs. So we'll have to have that, and later on, it's just easier if he has his non-training gear on. Which I just prefer because that's what I did with my last dog. I know I can work them naked. It's just easier to show, okay, this is work time when this goes on, and you can play when it doesn't, but I'll teach him both. He will have to have lifetime training, and of course we have to go to Florida, and in order for him to get to know us, we have to stay there a few days. I can afford his vet bills, even emergency vet bills. I even started an account with him at a vet here, account for him, not with him, and I can afford that. I can afford his care, and I can afford most of his training and all of his non-in-training gear. But I can't afford all of that and his in-training gear and stuff he needs for housing and the trip to Florida and the hotels there. I can't afford all of that at all. Together. So what we're doing is we're having a couple of fundraisers. One of the fundraisers is we're selling 2 different t-shirts. One t-shirt these are just sample shirts, at least mine is just a sample shirt. It says we're an army of angels. It's for businesses, and it says we're an army of angels.
On
and it says Buster on the bottom. On the back, which I'll show you in a minute, it says our business has a heart and compassion, and it tells you where you can go to get more help. To also help, and it has the businesses that have helped me so far on the back. If you want your business to be on the back as well, there's several ways you can do that. One way is to donate to GoFundMe. Another way is to allow me to put a donation jar in your business so other people can donate. And the third way is to order a few t-shirts, a few of these t-shirts, and I will put your name before I give you the t-shirts. I will put your business name on the back of it. You can also call me, or I can just put a message that you want to know how to do it and how to contact you maybe, or you can, I don't know if you should, you can message me on Facebook. I have a picture of Buster and Bella as my profile. You can message me there and ask me how else you can get your name on a t-shirt. Let me show you what the names of the people who already did look like. Okay, as you can see, those are the people that have already done it. They're awesome people. Please support them. If you're not able to donate, please support these people by patronizing them. And Sabrina's gonna push the pause button in a minute. Okay, Sabrina started the GoFundMe. We both started the t-shirt thing. I sometimes forget words, but anyway, if you're not a business but you still want to help, there's another shirt that doesn't say anything on the back, but it says "I'm an angel on earth" and has Buster's picture. And Buster, basically that means that you helped him get a home and a job. Basically means you helped him get a home and a job, and that really does make you an angel on earth. And this is the end of our video. This is almost the end of our video. Just also wanted to let you know how much they are. The shirt I'm showing you right now is a one-sided shirt for individuals, and it's we're charging $16 for that, which is pretty cheap for shirts. The shirt I showed you before, the two-sided shirt with your business's name on it, is $18. We're charging $18 for that. So, like I said, you can contact me on Facebook. My profile picture is a picture of Buster, the guy right there, plus Bella next to him. Thank you so much for helping out. Bye.